Welcome to Jees Talks, your weekly spark of power and positivity. In a world torn by injustice, fear, and silence, sometimes the softest voice becomes the strongest echo. This is the story of a girl who chose peace over violence, books over bullets, and love over hate. A girl named Malala Yousafzai. Born in the breathtaking Swat Valley of Pakistan in 1997, Malala was raised by a father who believed every child, boy or girl, had the right to learn. He was a teacher, a dreamer, and Malala was his brightest student. Her childhood was filled with laughter, learning, and a love for books. But change was coming, swift, dark, and cruel. In 2009, the Taliban took control of the valley. They banned girls from going to school. Libraries closed. Classrooms emptied. Silence replaced the sounds of learning. But one voice refused to be silenced. At just 11 years old, Malala began writing for the BBC under a pseudonym, describing life under terror. Each word she wrote was a whisper of truth, echoing across the globe. But the truth is dangerous. On October 9th, 2012, Malala was shot in the head by a Taliban gunman as she rode the bus home from school. She was just 15. The world stopped. But Malala did not. Against every odd, she survived. She rose from her hospital bed, not with hatred, but with a mission. She chose healing. She chose forgiveness. She chose peace. Less than a year later, she stood before the United Nations and declared, "One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world." And she meant it. Malala became the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize laureate at just 17. Not for surviving, but for fighting for every girl who couldn't. With the Malala Fund, she's bringing education to places once forgotten. She travels the world, from war-torn countries to remote villages, planting seeds of hope where others saw despair. Her mission is simple but powerful. Every girl deserves to learn. Malala's story is not just about a bullet or a speech. It's about faith in a better future. It's about service to those with no voice. It's about humility, turning pain into purpose. And it's about love, the kind of love that fights with words, not weapons. She reminds us that courage isn't about shouting the loudest. It's about speaking when everyone else is silent. It's about standing, even when you're the only one. So today, may Malala's journey remind you, your voice matters, your story matters, and your comeback might be the hope someone else is praying for. Thanks for watching Jees Talks, your weekly spark of power and positivity. Subscribe for more real stories, real heroes, and real hope, because someone out there is waiting for your comeback.